Hello everybody and welcome to Gene's Reviews from a regular dude, where I do trailer reactions, I react to YouTube videos, I review YouTube channels, occasionally I'll review a movie, but really, I just do whatever the hell I want. Hello everybody and welcome to Gene's Reviews from just a regular dude, down in the basement. Today we're doing one from a channel that I've done before called Chod Munch. And this is Nasty Lighters caught on tape or caught on camera. So let's check this out right now.
They were allegations that turned William Conboy's life upside down. A respected young Albany attorney who all of a sudden was facing charges filed by his own wife, Kelly.
I think I saw
He
this.
was beating her right here inside the couple's house.
Everybody who knew him knew this wasn't, true, but what? No one else did, because you pick up the paper. He's on the front of the local section. He's a batterer. It's this. It's horrible. He went through hell.
As a young prosecutor, William Conboy knew he had been placed in a very tough position of being forced to prove a negative. In other words, he had to prove that something did not happen. But that's when he took out his cell phone and called his wife.
I want you to know what's going to happen.
Okay.
If you are not out tonight with all of your I will call the Albany Police Department and say that you beat me and get an order of protection next week against you.
Are you going to make something up that I hit you?
Yeah. Without a doubt.
Wow, she's busted.
Why would you do that, Cal?
Why would I do that? You're getting the out of the house. That's why.
As it turns out, the tape recordings were more than enough for Bill Conboy to be cleared of all charges.
From the distraught mother whose heart's breaking.
Not only cleared, she should go to frickin' jail for that. Go back.
As it turns out, the tape recordings were more than enough for Bill Conboy to be cleared of all charges.
From the distraught mother whose heartbreaking plight prompted sympathy the world over, to one of the most vilified women in Britain. Karen Matthews' fall from grace was dramatic. In one of the most notorious crimes of recent times, 10 years ago, Matthews from Dewsbury was locked up for faking the kidnap of her own daughter, 9-year-old Shannon.
Police emergency. I want the top daughter's missing, please. Right, how old is she? 9. Yeah. When did you last see her? She went to school this morning. You've run round all her friends. Yeah. You've been in touch with all the relatives. Yeah. And there's nowhere else that you've got left to look. No. Has she been missing before? No, first time. What do you call her? Shannon Matthews.
During the 24 days of absence, Karen Matthews and her boyfriend Craig Meehan made multiple TV appearances pleading for information and shedding what now turned out to be crocodile tears.
If anybody's got my daughter, my
she's
beautiful
not dead.
princess daughter, please bring her home safe.
It makes me think now I can't trust people who's really close to me anymore. I just can't trust them.
People from the Dewsbury area, Shannon's hometown, came out in the hundreds to help search for the missing girl and console the grieving mother. 24 days later, she was found alive, hidden under a bed in the home of her stepfather's uncle, only a mile from where she lived.
It's thought Shannon was imprisoned by her mother as part of a plan to claim a £50,000 reward offered by a national newspaper.
Wow.
Jessica Ann Smith, a mother and fitness buff, said she was battling cancer at just 32 years old, but was rallying support, encouraging friends and family to #FightLikeAJessica. With medical bills piling up, supporters answered the call, raising over $10,000 on GoFundMe and Facebook to help.
People are coming out of the woodworks to help, which is, will restore anyone's faith in humanity.
But investigators say it was all a lie, perpetuated by Smith to dupe Good Samaritans into giving her money for a disease they say she didn't have, a hoax that led to her arrest. Her story gained added attention in July.
I'll be looking forward to posting that information.
When Smith was invited to speak about her diagnosis on the podcast, The Ever-Evolving Truth.
The doctor is taking my history as he's looking at my blood work, and he's like, I really think you have colon cancer. I actually have some chemo burns right now. People have tried to say I'm scamming people. If anyone straight up came up to me and was like, I think you're faking this, I literally would say, okay, you're coming to chemo with me on Monday.
She reappeared on the podcast 4 days later, taking aim at the people accusing her of lying.
Here is my fitness for duty form with the word cancer on it.
Smith stood by her story, but what she didn't know was that police were already investigating after they say her own husband came forward telling them he did not believe his wife had cancer. According to police, Jessica's story began to unravel. They say her doctor told them those photos, which she claimed showed her receiving chemotherapy, was not chemotherapy at all, but an iron infusion for anemia. Meanwhile, Smith is facing separate charges in Delaware for identity theft and criminal impersonation of a law enforcement officer.
The troubling video shows homes.
That's just bad. I mean, there are so many people out there with cancer that need help. And then I've had relatives that died from cancer. And she's taking advantage of people. She should get jail time for sure.
Meanwhile, Smith is facing separate charges in Delaware for identity theft and criminal impersonation of a law enforcement officer.
The troubling video shows Homestead Corrections Officer Lester Brown escorting a handcuffed inmate into the booking area. Watch as Brown shoves the inmate from behind, sending him tumbling face first into a concrete wall, causing him to bleed from the head, requiring a trip to the hospital. Miami-Dade State Attorney Catherine Fernandez-Rundle says Officer Brown lied on his written report about the incident, claiming Alvarado was combative and tried to attack officers. She said video contradicts those claims, showing Alvarado calmly walking in without a struggle. Brown also claimed the inmate fell forward into the wall. Brown is now charged with felony battery and official misconduct. Homestead's chief of police also condemning his officer's actions.
I understand that you have had patients that have...
He's not going to do good in jail if he goes to jail. Cops don't do too well when they're in jail, you know?
Homestead's chief of police also condemning his officer's actions.
I understand that you have had patients that have stood up and walked away from wheelchairs who have ALS.
There have been patients that have improved to that extent.
You've reversed the condition.
Yes.
You know, Mr. Stowe, the trouble is that you're a con man.
Really?
You're lying about this protocol. You've lied about your association with the University of Texas. You've lied about your work with the FDA. And now you're lying to these gentlemen about what they can expect.
And why do you say that?
Nobody at the FDA knows anything about any of this. And the University of Texas is not going to be starting a regenerative medicine clinic with your name on it.
Really?
Is that a treatment that would allow them to stand up out of a wheelchair and walk away?
With an ALS patient? No, we've done it with MS patients.
I don't believe that's what they understood.
Well,
I don't believe that's what you told them.
Then they weren't listening.
Can you give, actually, we were listening very carefully.
Okay, do you have the tape recordings?
I do.
Pull them out.
This was your meeting in Houston
Great.
just a few weeks ago.
Well, if I opt for the permanent fix, will it keep me out of a wheelchair?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
What a piece
No,
of
we've had
what a piece of work.
A number of ALS patients be able to get out of their wheelchairs.
That's not true, is it?
The Stowe Foundation has not.
You told Steve that you were going to keep him out of a wheelchair. That's not true either, is it?
No, that's very true.
You're going to sit here after seeing that, and you're going to look this man in the face and tell him that he's going to stay out of a wheelchair? I mean, that's cruel.
Really?
We wondered what Stowe...
That's all he has to say is, really? Really? He said that like 4 or 5 times now. Oh, really?
...would say to the idea of giving Michael Martin his $47,000 back.
Has he asked for it?
I'm asking.
We give it back to him.
Now, that's a deal I'd like to make.
Really? Okay.
Really?
Fine.
Of course, that refund never came.
Of course not.
Now, you're not running away on me, are you?
Well, I was planning on leaving, yes.
Okay.
I think I'm done.
All right.
Thank you.
You just cost this man his life. I want you to know that.
You know, I don't think so.
Okay.
In October, Jennings claimed she developed a rare muscle disorder called dystonia after getting a seasonal flu shot. The illness made it tough for her to talk.
It's
a battle every day.
Even more bizarre, Jennings had trouble walking forward but not walking backwards, and she could run but couldn't stop easily.
It's heartbreaking to see it.
I want people to look at me and know this could happen.
But look at Jennings now. Inside Edition supplied this video of her walking normally, playing with her dogs, shopping, and even driving. Inside Edition had been secretly taping Jennings for weeks.
We've been trying to reach you and you have not been returning our phone calls.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's going on? It looks like you've made a complete recovery.
Well, I wouldn't say complete recovery. I still have a lot of cognitive issues.
Inside Edition obtained this official report on Jennings' case by the Centers for Disease Control. It says the admitting neurologist thought there was a psychogenic component. Psychogenic meaning a mental or psychological cause for the symptoms. Jennings calls the idea that her illness is all in her head crazy.
I mean, people are free to believe whatever they want, but, you know, I mean, clearly what I've been going through, I know it's not psychogenic, and it's not a hoax.
By now, you've probably noticed Jennings spoke with a foreign accent that she'd never had before.
I'm from Ohio. I should not be talking like this.
There's no way a flu shot can cause someone's accent to change. Absolutely not.
One more thing to notice. When Inside Edition first approached Jennings in this parking lot, she seemed to be walking normally. But after their interview, she walked to her car sideways, saying it was dystonia.
People. Oh, man. It never ceased to amaze me. Oh, how about a joke? A mushroom walks into a bar and orders a drink. The bartender says, "Get out of here." The mushroom says, "Why? I'm a fun guy." Thank you, everybody. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hashtag Mean Gene, all that fun stuff. And if you like this video, tell all your friends, leave a comment down below. And if you didn't like it, then just shut up. And I will see you next time.